I'm going to spend a couple of minutes showing you what the functionality we have on an Atlas case page. We're looking at case 247. When you first open up a case page, what you're going to see in the upper left-hand corner is the name of the case, a description of the case, the topic, and the grades. Then over to the right, you're going to see the video. Beneath the video is the commentary. And then when you click on this tab, you'll see the instructional materials that are associated with this case. Let's go to look at the video for a second. So back to the video, if I want to see this video full screen, I can. So if I'm sharing with a classroom, I could show full screen. You'll see here that this video, all our videos are captioned because we want to make sure we capture everything students are saying and the teachers are saying. We say that too because these Atlas cases are authentic and they're unedited. So sometimes you may not be able to hear everything that's being said. Therefore we have those captions. Underneath the video is the teacher's commentary. All the commentary is 4 parts. First part is instructional context. The instructional context during the instructional context section, the teacher talks about the types of students she has, demographically, and also in terms of their development. In the planning section, the teacher talks about her lesson objectives for this particular lesson, and also anything that she may have done prior to what you see in the video to get her students ready for the video. The third section is the analysis, and that's the teacher analyzing what's taking place in the video. And then the fourth section of the video is the reflection, where the teacher talks about, after having seen the video, what he or she would do wrong, right, or what they did wrong, what they would do differently next time around. So that's the commentary. And the commentary, because it's several pages long, can be downloaded if you're an instructor or an administrative role in Atlas. The instructional materials are going to vary. It depends on what was required by the National Board Certified Teacher as part of the submission process. Some materials, for example, for literacy cases, you're going to see a variety of different types of materials. In some cases, you'll just see a classroom layout. In this particular case, I'm going to open it up, and what the teacher was required to provide is their classroom layout. So that's what's available. But again, it could also include student work samples, examples of quizzes and assignments that the students are completing during the video, during the time the video is being taken. If while you are looking at a video, you want to annotate something, you see something in the video, for example, that you want to make a note of, you click on this video note, and it's going to populate at that point in the video where you were when you clicked on video note, and you can create something like a sample. Just write whatever note you want to make there. Great example of student engagement, for example. Over to the right, you decide who you want to share it with. If you don't want to share it with anyone, you just let it stay on only me, and you click on publish. And now it'll appear as a tick mark, and when I open up that tick mark, you'll see where my comment was created. You can do the same thing with a commentary. If you're reading part of the commentary and you want to make annotate it, or make a note of what you're reading, you just highlight it, a little pencil icon appears, and then you go ahead and you leave your comment here. You can add a framework tag to this particular section of the commentary. You can do the same with the video if you so choose. Decide who you want to share it with. Again, I'm going to leave it on only me, meaning I'm the only one who's going to see this. And you click publish, and it will appear to the right as a tick mark. As a speech bubble. Oftentimes we get the question, who sees these annotations? The only people who see the annotations are who you want to see the annotations. So if you want to keep it private, you would just click on only me. If you want to share, you could also share it with people in your group. Instructional materials. Again, same thing. You can create an instructional material note if there was something that you wanted to make a note of in the materials that you see. On the left-hand side, not all of our cases, roughly a third of our cases, have been indexed up to 9 frameworks and standards, and you can see that this case has been indexed to the National Board Standards, Teaching Works High Leverage Teaching Practices, NTPA, next gen science standards, in-task model core teaching standards, and deeper learning competencies. So what was that process of doing this? We convened groups of educators who were experts in their content areas, many of them being National Board Certified Teachers, but also people who were who were expert at the particular standard. So they had like a lot of knowledge about the standard that they were about to create tags on. The first thing they did was create tags, and the tags tend to be shorthand for the standards. So they created a body of tags, for example, for National Board, the National Board standards. So these are some of the tags that were created. Once all the tags were created, they then went into the cases and they identified good examples of those tags in action. So for example, if I click on Understanding Students, that's one of the tags that was created by these group of experts. Underneath is a description of what that means in terms of what does an accomplished teacher do? And it says accomplished teachers are aware of students' background and needs. Underneath that is a reason why those experts identified a particular part of the case as a good example of understanding students. And then underneath that it points directly to that part of the case where that particular tag, a good example of that tag is being demonstrated. So if I click on watch 433 to 653, it's going to take me part in the video where the teacher is showing that she's aware of her students' background and needs, which is part of understanding students. The same is true for commentary. So for this particular tag, knowledge of science inquiry, again, there's a description of what it means, why the experts thought this was a good example. When I click read selected commentary, it takes me directly to the part of the commentary, and in this case, two parts of the commentary that are good examples of knowledge of science inquiry. So after you've reviewed the value of these tags is that sometimes you don't have time to watch the complete video or read the entire commentary, though we strongly suggest you do, but if you don't and you're really trying to find specific examples based on a standard that you may be working with your teachers or teacher candidates, these tags take you right to that part of the case that shows examples of whatever it is you may be looking for that you might want to be discussing with your students or your teacher candidates or teachers. And of course, if you're looking at a case and you want to keep it or remember it, some people just remember the case numbers. You can also save it, and when you save it, you can save it to your own personal space or you can save it to a group. So that's all the functionality in the case page.